Alrighty people, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are continuing the alcohol ink for memory keepers video that I had up go a few days ago. When I originally filmed these, I did film these to go up as one video, but after talking to you guys, I think a lot of you would prefer two separate videos instead of having one behemoth of a video, which is what you would have gotten. So if you want to see how I made these backgrounds, you guys have to just, go back and watch. I will make sure to link a card and link the original video in the description. Just go back and watch how I made these backgrounds, and I give you guys pretty much my process for alcohol inks and how I use them. But for here, we're actually going to take those panels and make pages. So first, I'm stamping on my panels, and I said in my original video that I wanted to die cut some flowers and die cut some leaves out of the panels that I made. When you're stamping on Yupo paper or any paper that you're using the alcohol inks on, I have found the most success stamping with an ink that you would use to stamp on something glossy. So I like to use archival ink for stamping on my photos. That is the same ink that I would use for stamping on this. You could stamp with Stays On also, but you just got to make sure that it's something that's designed for stamping on glossy that won't slide all the way off. And so through the magic of editing, you don't have to watch me fight with my die cutting machine, but I stamped these. This stamp set is from Altenew. This is called the Rennie Flower stamp set. So I stamped out a bunch of flowers and a bunch of leaves and then just used my Big Shot to cut all of those out. And now I have the embellishment. So you see, I went from a bunch of alcohol ink backgrounds to now having a title for my page and having embellishments, because I went ahead and I cut the alphabet out of the paper, also the purple papers. And this is the Tim Holtz alphanumeric upper. I will link everything in the description box, so if you want to see the particular supplies that I use to get these die cuts, you can. And from here, I'm just working on making my clusters on my page. I pretty much have all of my bits and pieces. I have 4 photos. I am scrapping some pictures of me running outside. So I printed 3 photos, and I eventually go and I cut them. I think I cut them a little bit smaller than this because they were just a little too big, but I go ahead and I arrange them, and I'm creating a single cluster on each of the photos. So I have my 3 photos, my 3 floral clusters, and then my title, which is going to go on the left side, is going, gone, because I have the 3 photos. It just kind of works the 3 words, and it kind of matched with the sentiment of what I was scrapbooking. And then I'm taking my extra florals and arranging them on the top of the page. That way, I'm repeating the colors from the right side onto the left, and I'm also repeating the embellishments. I have those extra flowers. I'm making a flower cluster. I think it helps to just tie both sides of the spread together. Now, to adhere my letters, I actually pulled out my Wendy Vecchi art station, and I love this tool for putting things down straight because it's a magnetic board. And you could do the same thing with a T-square, but I had so many letters to put down, and I wasn't putting them down in a row. So the magnetic ruler helped a lot because I could just make sure that my panel was completely straight on that grid, which is what the blue thing is. Stick down the magnets to keep it in place, and then with the magnetic ruler, I now have a foundation for my title so that I can stick things down, make sure things are evenly spaced, make sure everything is straight. I love this station. It is a tool I've been pulling out more and more. I thought it was just for stenciling, which is what I bought it for, but I've been doing so many other cool things with this. It is really a workhorse in my craft room right now. So I'm just using some wet glue in my fine line bottle to stick down my title. With this, you definitely want to give your things some time to dry because this is not a porous surface, because it's a treated surface, because it's plastic. The glue will slide around everywhere before it finally sticks down, and there's actually a few places where I had to just put an acrylic block on some of the things that I stuck down to my page because it literally just was not doing what it was supposed to. It was sliding all around, it was moving, it was giving me a bit of a hard time. So you definitely have to be patient when you're using a medium like this as a memory keeping page. You can use this to build a layout on, which I totally did. You just have to, 1, be cognizant of the adhesives you're using. 2, be aware of like what stamping ink you're going to use. And 3, just give it some more time, like a little bit extra time to dry. Now, if you didn't want to use a whole background, you could still do the other things I did, which is, you know, make some panels and die cut out of it and then stick that down to cardstock, and then you don't run into those problems. But I really just wanted to use that really fun blown out background for my page. Now, my title does look like it's getting lost on the pink on camera. It doesn't look like that in person. I'm wondering if it's just my lighting, my filming lights, but it doesn't look like that in person. The purple really pops a lot against the hot pink, and you can clearly read what it's saying. So I guess it's just getting lost on camera. So for the left side, this is the right side. For the right side, I'm just using wet glue to stick everything down. I'm recreating my clusters pretty much the same way I had them before, on the left side of the top photo, the right side of the middle photo, the left side again of the bottom photo, and you'll see things are sliding. Like I said, things do slide for a little bit, so you just have to have a little bit of patience for things to stick down, but they do eventually stick and everything adheres just fine. So again, creating my clusters, sticking my flowers down, and I gotta say, this gives you like a stained glass appearance. I wish you guys could like see it closer up. It looks like a stained glass because you have that marbling and that modeling of the color in the background, and then you cut it out. It looks like you're looking through stained glass. It's a really, really fun effect, and if you start using like more pastels, translucent colors, then you really, really get that effect when you stamp over it. I'm so glad I made my flowers with the lighter inks that I own, because I think they came out super good. So now I decided that I wanted to add some labels, add some words, and I wasn't comfortable stamping directly on the paper. So I pulled out my Studio Calico labels. I talk about these labels all the time. They are amazing. They're a great label sticker. They're paper, so they're super easy to stamp on. So I pulled out flamingo, lavender soda, and clear blue, a pink, a purple, and a blue, just to reinforce the colors that I already had in my background. I didn't want to pull out a green because the green that I have is more of a yellow green, and the green that I have on my page right now is more of a blue green, and I was really hesitant about introducing new colors. So I just use a pink, a purple, and a blue. And then the stamps that I'm using is also from Studio Calico. I'm not sure exactly what it's called because the stamp set is not labeled, but I will find it and I will link it in the description box. It's designed by Little Lamb Paper Co. It's things like photographed and snapshot and caught on camera, which is just perfect sentiments for what I was documenting. So I stamped on all 3 labels, and then I just put a label pretty much next to my floral cluster, just to create the embellishment cluster. And then I'm repeating things because I'm making a formula, right? It's super easy to scrapbook when you make formulas, when you don't reinvent the wheel, when you make a formula and you stick to it. So for all my clusters, I have 2 florals or 1 big floral. I have some leaves, and now I've added a label, and I'm just repeating the same cluster everywhere, and it makes it super easy to get a page done. So if you're starting out with scrapbooking and you're having a little bit of trouble, I would highly recommend just making a formula for the page you're working on and then repeat that formula. And if you notice, I tend to use the same formula all the time. I just do embellishments and a label over top, and it just becomes really easy and really formulaic. So guys, don't reinvent the wheel. If it's working, it's working. So for my journaling, I didn't want to write on this. I don't know what paper works on this craft plastic. So I just quickly printed out like a few sentences about starting a couch to 5K and how rewarding it is to, actually start something and stick to it. And then I cut them up into little strips. And then I've never actually done this. This is not a way that I normally add my journaling. I either handwrite my journaling or I use like a journaling card. So this was kind of fun, having it cut up into little strips. I printed it on copy paper, so it wasn't super thick. Cut it up into strips, stuck it down with my my wet glue underneath my title on the right side. And now I'm just trying to decide what puffy stickers I want to use. Because you guys know how I feel about puffy stickers or enamel dots. They are the icing on the cake. They are the sprinkling of life. So I'm just adding a few puffy stickers down to my page. And that pretty much completes this layout. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this Alcohol Inks for Memory Keepers series, mini series. Let me know if there's any other mediums that are more like art journal-y or artistic that you guys want to see how I would introduce and integrate them into a memory keeping page. Because I'm all about using your supplies in every medium you possibly can. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're so inclined. Let me know if you watch parts 1 and part 2 and if you enjoyed them, and I will see you at the next one. So, till next time, keep it crafty and have the very best day, and I will see you around. Bye!